The Roman prison system wasn't what you think. These walls didn't hold criminals serving time. They held men waiting to die. Welcome to the darkest corner of Roman justice, where stone cells became execution chambers and social status determined whether you lived or perished. In ancient Rome, prison was never the punishment. The Mamertine Prison, known as the Tullianum, stood at the foot of the Capitoline Hill near the Roman Forum. Built in the 7th century BC by King Ancus Martius during a crime surge, this underground dungeon became Rome's most infamous detention center. The Roman historian Sallust described it as 12 feet below ground, enclosed by walls on all sides, with neglect, darkness, and stench, making it hideous and fearsome to behold. But here's what shocks modern observers. Romans didn't believe in rehabilitation. Prisons were temporary holding cells before trial or execution. The 12 Tables, Rome's earliest legal code from the mid-5th century BC, mentions detention, but incarceration as punishment simply didn't exist in Roman law. If you were thrown into the Tullianum, you were already condemned. Death by strangulation or starvation awaited in that chamber, 30 feet long, 22 feet wide, and just 6.5 feet high. The system operated on brutal class distinctions. Roman citizens of high status, the honestiores, received house arrest while awaiting trial. They could even go into voluntary exile to avoid prosecution. But slaves, foreigners, and lower-class citizens, the humiliores, faced the full horror of Roman detention. They were kept in chains, a practice called vincula publica, primarily reserved for slaves though applied to most prisoners. Free-born Roman citizens couldn't be enchained indefinitely, but that protection meant nothing if you weren't born free. Famous prisoners met their end in the Mamertine. Jugurtha, king of Numidia, was executed there in 104 BC. Vercingetorix, the Gallic king who dared challenge Julius Caesar, was strangled in its depths in 46 BC after being paraded through Rome in Caesar's triumph. Captured foreign rulers were displayed in triumphal processions. Then the most prominent or dangerous were executed at the Tullianum. These executions were strikingly few in number, reserved for enemies who posed the greatest threat to Roman power. The dual penalty system reveals Rome's calculated cruelty. For the same crime, an elite citizen might face exile or beheading with a sword, considered dignified deaths. A slave or lower-class person faced crucifixion, being thrown to wild beasts in the arena, forced labor in mines, or enslavement. Certain punishments were exclusive to low-status individuals. Roman law explicitly prohibited using prisons as punishment and warned governors against it, yet the reality was far grimmer. Prison guards were typically poor veterans. The job was so undesirable that harsh rules forced compliance. If a prisoner escaped, the guard was sentenced to death. This created a cycle of cruelty where vulnerable prisoners, especially slaves and non-citizens, suffered the worst treatment. Most prisoners were kept enchained regardless of official policy. The conditions were so horrific that many died before their scheduled execution, turning imprisonment into a prolonged death sentence. The Mamertine Prison still stands today beneath the church of San Giuseppe dei Falegnami. Its 2 levels, the upper carcere and lower Tullianum, remain as testament to Roman justice. These stone walls witnessed the empire's method of social control through terror and status-based brutality. Rome didn't rehabilitate. Rome eliminated threats and maintained order through fear, using these dark chambers as the final stop for anyone who challenged imperial power or fell on the wrong side of Roman law.